I want to talk today about how I think we can do youth work in a new way. And I want to talk about I work for an organization. We're trying to help youth workers to use storytelling in talking about the Christian faith. And I want to talk today about James Bond and rat worship. And I find this a great way of talking about the big issues of life. Rats, you know, they've had a very bad press, let's be frank about this. The bubonic plague, the Black Death, it caused tremendous image problems. Diamonds Are Forever with Sean Connery. And in this film, Bond is trapped in a pipeline and he wakes up to see a rat. And it's very, very touching and moving because he speaks so graciously to the rat. He says, "One of us smells like a tart's handkerchief. Believe it's me. Sorry about that old boy." You get this warmth and tenderness from Bond towards the rat. Whereas this man here, Jaws, he has nothing but disdain for rats. And in one episode, he actually gets a rat, he bites its head off, and he breaks wind very, very loudly. That's the evil villain. Now let's look at Bond's faith. Bond has a whole way of looking at the world, and I want for a couple of minutes to explore his faith. And I think youth workers, we have to explore the faith of people who live in the secular Western story, which Bond does. You know, Christians want to say we are made in the image and likeness of God. No, Bond's answer is a typically Western, secular, and modernist answer. I am Bond, James Bond. I am a confident MI6 agent. I have complete confidence in my ability to achieve all my assignments. All women find me extremely attractive. Now, I've studied every single Bond film. If you are a good-looking woman, you will find Bond irresistible. It's a basic a priori truth of all the Bond genre. Sometimes I lack complete control over nature. That's very Western. And other people. Sometimes enemy agents refuse to be killed instantly. Sometimes I am attacked by huge crocodiles. This is Rupert. He is the real crocodile, and he tried to attack Bond. He's now recovering in a hospital in Burnley. What happens after death? If you are a Christian and you know your Bible, when you die, you are waiting for the resurrection of the body and the resurrection of the entire creation. Don't read Plato. What happens after death? It's almost impossible to kill me, but after I die at home in bed, I will rot and be eaten by worms. In Rajasthan, there is a temple where there are 20,000 rats that live the life of old Riley. They have the best food, they have buffalo milk. And here is a rat worshipper. If you do worship rats or hamsters, please stand up right now and we'll pray for you. Paul Merton, by way of contrast, has a completely different way of looking at rat worship. He was in this rat temple in 2008. He saw somebody worshiping a rat. And he couldn't believe what was going on. And he said famously, rat worship is true for them. Again, it's another way that Western people look at rat worship. Here's a real American tourist. It's just a different form of worshiping something else. We all worship different objects all around the world. And the rat should be just as important an object as anything else. Here we have this very relativist. There are four basic responses to rat worship. Let's look at them now. We have Bond at the top left-hand corner. This is a typically modernist worldview. It's only real if you can quantify it. It's only real if it can be measured. It's science that rules. Science is our God. If it isn't science, it's rats. And over here, it's the only famous Christian I could find, Ned Flanders. And what would he say? Don't worship rats, worship Christ. Now, why are these things important? Because I believe we have got to have a youth work that helps young people to understand the stories, the narratives that can mug them. We're living in a world where people are discipled by stories, and we have to help people to understand the stories that are threatening to mug you. This is my challenge to youth workers. Help young people to read the culture. I don't think we do nearly enough of this in our churches, to understand the world around us in the light of the story of the Bible. Don't just go on about God, 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 Bible, 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 Daniel and the leopards. But help people to understand the world in which we live. Give them wisdom. Help them to develop wisdom. And please help them to spot the siren voices that threaten to destroy us. Our challenge is not just to have platitudes and cliches and endless God talk, but to give people wisdom and understanding about the world in which they live. I thank you very much indeed.